dream. I seen the Sphinx breathing, standing next to heathens, devoured by sea, the locusts ejected from the zenith. The body. Greetings. Psychonauts. Very important video today. We're going to talk about intention, and we're going to get practical about this shit for real. So we're about to go ahead and have results. But this is for a more, I believe, the experienced psychonaut. Well, there are exceptions. There's a lot of exceptions. So I'm sure a beginner could get a lot out of it too, but more experienced people, while you're under or while you're there, over there on the other side, I have better grasp or better ability to navigate those planes and outside of our reality. So there might be a little more of advanced technique. Actually, the references I'm using mainly is the CIA Gateway process, which the papers which came out, and I did a few videos on already earlier, and these called advanced techniques, right? So these are the more advanced techniques. For them, it's hemi-syncing. They use the Monroe Institute uses binaural beats and the heavy listening for weeks and months until you are able to get into that hemi-syncing zone, which we talked about earlier, and your heart rate low enough where you have the bifurcation echo, which we talked about earlier, right? So, yeah. So this is more advanced techniques for the psychonauts, advanced psychonauts, and it's basically they have 7 intentions you can go or goals you can do when you go in under, and so they apply this to their Monroe Institute binaural beat tapes, the hemi-syncing, but of course we can apply this to psychonauts. As I showed earlier, the brain firing looks similar on both EKGs on the graph, or also a transcendental meditator who's been super experienced can also do that. So meditation through the binaural beats, Monroe Institute, through psychedelics, right? Through meditation again, same thing as the earlier transcendental meditation. Most of us can try that. But this is just not for psychonauts. One more, lucid dreamers. Lucid dreamers could also use this technique while they're in the place because it's the same place. Same place, right? So if you're able to navigate your dreams, you're able to navigate, I think, psychedelics. That's what I believe. Mushrooms, at least, by my experience. If you can lucid dream, you can navigate your mushroom experience a little better. Anyway, I think these people will get more benefit from these techniques, right? So we have 4 kinds of people who benefit. So let's get into it. Number 1, problem solving. And so let me do the first. I'm just going to listen first. Number 2, patterning. Okay, this involves behavior at this 3D realm. 3, color breathing. Color breathing represents more like a healing or more biological attentive techniques using frequencies. 4, energy bar tool. Energy bar tool is a pretty cool technique. It's about creating your own not imaginary, because it's going to be real for you. Wand of energy, which you do your work with, or staff, whatever. 5, remote viewing. Seeing places where you're not physically at the time. 6, living body map. That has to do with kind of like the color breathing before and the body, the living body map, but you use the wand that you create, right? That's number 6, living body map. 7, travel to the past. And 8, lastly, travel to the future. They have one more technique, which they gave a whole paragraph to, which is out of body experience. And maybe I'll get into that later. But so as I have these listed, it's the easier ones to attain are at the top, and the harder, more advanced ones are at the bottom. And they're saying very few people could do the travel into the future. So, I mean, if you can, don't let them know. They'll probably come swoop you up. Anyway, let's get into it. One, problem solving. And so it's pretty much they say you go into you before you go under or go in, you're gonna meditate on your problem, right? Then you're going to go in and you're going to project it out into the universe everywhere and let the universe come back with the answer for you. Um, that's how they say to do it. I think that sounds pretty cool, and I'd work with that. Um, yeah, so um, they say mathematicians use that. You can use this for physics, for homework problems, or for your scientists. You can use this for any conundrums you have. Maybe throw that out there, and yeah, that's problem solving. Get your problem and project it out into the universe when you're under or where you're there. Um, we know what there means, right? Everybody there means when you're in the other realms, not 3D. Next is patterning. And I have some experience with this. Um, a little technique I'll explain at the end, but patterning is having to do with the intellectual, emotional, or physical self. It's pretty much like a behavioral adjustment that you need to make. And yeah, like giving up alcohol, say. And this is a technique. The technique I specifically used for this was it's called a screen, some kind of screening technique where you visualize the screen, close your eyes and visualize yourself doing your the behavior you want to eliminate. Say it's drinking, and you see yourself like on the couch chugging beers, getting a belly, and just being worthless and dirty, and really get into the picture of the smell and taste of the beer and how sluggish and out of shape you feel and low vibing. Then in the corner of this screen, like a picture in picture, begin to visualize yourself, just drinking water and going out in nature and being whatever, just being healthy overall, not drinking and playing with your kids and being more active, or because you're not drinking, and have that screen slowly take over the other screen until the only thing remaining is the screen of your higher self, your ultimate self, your goal, and have that bright again. Same thing. Visualize it, taste, smell, feel how healthy you are, and just do that over and over. And man, it works wonders, right? So that's the technique I use. But you can pattern. It's the same thing as problem solving. But let me go back and check to see exactly what they say about patterning. And what they say about patterning is, even though my technique is best. Um, oh yeah, it's about thought patterns are generated by our consciousness, and so once you change, you can change the thought generated hologram by changing your thoughts, your thought process, and yeah, it's basically since consciousness is a source of all reality, then um, how you guide your conscious will guide your reality. Simple as that. This might be the most powerful one of all, pretty much, right? And let me see. How quote from them. However, the more complicated the objective sought, and the more radically it departs from our current reality, the more time the hologram will need to reorient our reality sphere to accommodate our desires. I love it. So I don't say the more out there your goals are, the more fucking away from reality it is. It doesn't say it's impossible. It says this is going to take longer for the universe to realize that. So that's an awesome, sentence saying don't limit yourself or don't limit what your Don't limit your goals, what you're asking for. Love it. Love it. Glad I just read that. Anyway, yep, so that's patterning. Number three, color breathing. And this is going into on my Facebook page, Psilocybin Social Psychonauts. I recommend Franz Barden and the color visualization techniques for all psychonauts because I know how important it is right there. And this kind of confirms it right here because we know colors are associated with different frequencies. And when you inhale, exhale, visualizing colors directed towards certain body parts, it'll have an effect. Like you can cool a body part down or heat it up. Like red corresponds to swelling and more blood flow, and blue just the opposite. So yeah, you can work with colors through breathing. We can go more on that later. If anybody has any experience with that, I'd love to hear your story in the comments below. So that was three, color breathing. The energy bar tool is awesome. It's your own magic wand that you create in the ethereal planes. You visualize a pulsating little dot, fill it with all the energy in the universe and light until it's just out of control pulsating, and then you turn it, expand it into a rod, which is going to be your wand or your staff, right? And that's going to be your magic tool in ethereal planes, right? It's all up here too, and you can spin it to make vortexes. It's awesome. So you can direct one of the techniques. I think is that the next technique. Um, but yeah, one of the techniques, living body map, you use energy bar tool, the magic wand. That's pretty much making your own fucking magic wand in your head. Awesome, right? This is CIA documents, and that maybe that's why the term or the symbol of the magic wand or staff is so powerful because it has a basis in this reality, or because this is pretty much science now, baby. But we're at CIA level, right? So next, that's for energy bar tool, which we'll be using later. Fire remote viewing um, is when you start using your energy bar tool. So it's going to take your consciousness to places you're not physically at, and you use that by taking your wand. Once you've made it, you spin it into a vortex, and you go or look into it to the desired location that you want. So remote viewing, that's five. Number six, living body map, and that is creating a visual living map of yourself, energetic body of yourself with different colors, and you use our wand that we created, our energy bar to direct whatever color or frequency or energy we need to the specific body parts, right? That's living body map six. And that is again another healing technique or energizing technique or that you can use besides color breathing. Okay. And since it's a little lower, I'm assuming it's more advanced. So, yeah, living body map. And the last two are, I don't think anybody is going to get to this level. If you are, please contact me so I can be your student. But travel to the past and travel into the future. Um, that's just pretty much what it says. You're going to use your energy bar tool to go to the specific time of your desire and whatever, get your information and bring it back. So these are super advanced techniques, and it even says before the travel into the future section that there's nobody gonna be. Very few humans are ever going to get to that level where they're able to send their consciousness into the future. Like I said, if they do, you don't tell them, right? So, yep, that's it. Um, 8 awesome intentions or techniques to use when you're either in your binaural beach with these guys at Monroe Institute, your hemi-syncing, your meditations, your lucid dreaming. If you can lucid dreamers out there, get it done. And of course, psychonauts, right? So, of course, a psychonaut can combine a little meditation and a little few grams and maybe get a lot more done. So, have at it, folks. If you have any success with any of this stuff, please drop me a comment. I would love to hear. Or if you have any stories about it, let me know. Have a happy New Year, Psychonauts 2023.